Alright, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about some Granblue Fantasy vs Rising. I haven't had a chance to record after the beta, unfortunately, so I couldn't really be out there give my opinion, though I have the live that is on my YouTube for the last day where I was filling up the survey as well and giving my thoughts on some of the aspects of the beta. So if you are interested in that, you can check that out. Anyways, this video would have chapters available in case I'm rambling too much for you and you want to just skip to the parts that are interesting to you. Anyways, so today I want to talk about Granblue, and I wanted to give a quick, idea of my opinion of the beta and also some concerns that I have for the release of the game and things that will happen in the future for Granblue. So let's start with the beta first of all. So overall, it was really great. I had a great time. I had a lot of fun. I loved Granblues. It was pretty good, pretty fun to play. I was actually surprised of how in-depth it was, to be honest, with all the weapons and all the things like that. But yeah, it does need some polish in some areas, of course. Yes, it needs a bit more stages. Of course, that was just the beta, so I'm expecting a bit more game modes for the full game. There was also the thing with the big text on the screen during the game mode where you collect the gold and all that stuff like that, right? But aside of that, it was pretty good. I also really liked the lobby. The lobby was pretty awesome. The only issues, we need some sprinting in the lobby. That would be pretty nice to increase the mobility. Also the ability to teleport to players who are waiting on the match. That would be really nice too, from the player list. And also, of course, it would be nice if the lobby could have better frame rate, though I would not be expecting that really, because I feel like they have a pretty big lobby. It has 100 players. I can understand why it's capped at 30 FPS and such, but regardless, it would be nice to have better frame rate overall. The combat system of the game now was really good. I'm in love with this game. I love it. I have very few things to say about it. I'm not an advanced player. I'm not a pro player. I'm just a very standard average player, and I would say I had a lot of fun with it. I cannot really be like, oh my god, this was unbalanced, was this, was that, this should change like this. All I'm going to say is like direct feelings and some experiences I had with the combat system. So first of all, there was a pretty funny bug with Beelzebub. So with Ultimate Karma, it would bug against Jita. I don't know why. And then it would have a pretty frequent bug against Honore / Uno. I actually tested that in a match. It happened in a match with another player, and we pretty much froze at the same time. We decided to just try out the idea over and over, and it would happen pretty consistently. So Ultimate Karma is kind of bugged. I wish they could actually fix that. I would like it to be fixed whenever the game comes out. Aside of that, I cannot really say anything about balance, but people talked about dash lights, and I can kind of see what they're talking about with dash lights. They are very strong. I don't know if it's a thing where we need to have more experience with the game, but at the same time, Granblue is a pretty easy game to figure out overall. So things like dash light being really strong, I feel like it might be the case, and they might have to tone that down. I don't know how. Maybe add some pushback, because at the same time, I kind of like dash lights because they're really good. The only thing is, maybe there's not enough like counterplay. Maybe there's not enough reward for dodging it or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, dash light could use a little bit of balancing. And then on the side, I would say throws felt a little bit difficult to punish. Maybe they need a bit more recovery. But yeah, aside of that, great experience with the beta. That's it for the beta part. Now we have to talk about the most important thing in the video, which is my concerns for the release of the game. So first of all, just the intro to this section is that I love this game. Like, when I say I love this game, I really mean it. I still have some concerns, basically based on how they handled the previous game. So there's a lot of things to talk about. Things like the patches, monetization, rank mode, and also single player content / side content of the game. So let's start with the patches. Previously in Granblue Fancy Versus, there was some issue because the developers made a ton of patches after season 1. There was like, I don't know, there was almost a patch after every time a new character pretty much came out. There's a patch over and over again. There was too many of them. It made the game difficult to play overall, because every time you would learn something, it would change basically the next month or after 2 months, and that was not really good, to be honest. It actually drove away a lot of people from this game, the patch cycle, and I hope that is something that would not happen for this game. That's why, in my opinion, it would be really nice if this game shared the same patch cycle as Guilty Gear Strive. People complain a lot about this patch cycle of Guilty Gear Strive, because Guilty Gear Strive is a game that has pretty much a lot of balance issues, in my opinion. It's a fun game. I still really enjoy Guilty Gear Strive, and it's a game that I plan to check out every now and then. But the problem with Guilty Gear Strive is that things are not addressed fast, or whenever they are addressed, they're addressed not in the best way. Like, some things would be nice, but they are not nice enough, right? But right now, I think in balance, in terms of balance, this is the best the game has ever been. But in some cases, it would be nice if they would just nerf some characters straight up. Overall, so I just want them to have a pretty nice balance cycle that is not too frequent. I would even say three balance patches in a year. That would be nice overall. But I would prefer 2. But 3, I think a lot of people would be happy with 3 a year. 2 would be nice, because that means the game is very solid and people can just have the game and learn it at their own pace. That would be nice too. So the next thing I want to talk about is the monetization. That was also a pretty big issue with the previous game. Monetization was insane. We had to buy so many things. This game was incredibly expensive, to be honest. You had to buy characters, the season pass, you had to buy the colors, you had to buy the stages, you had to buy so many things. And then they added the battle passes, and I bought the first one, and then I didn't follow up. I stopped buying the battle passes because I was mad about like how they had a lot of cool stuff in the battle passes. But the problem is, I'm not against the idea of a battle pass. I'm against the idea of having a battle pass and a season pass. Having both separated is not really a good idea in my opinion. It would be nice if they found a way to mix them together, but I don't know if they ever will do that. I don't know if they will keep the battle pass systems overall. I think it got poorly received, but I don't think it was necessarily a bad idea. Plus, I understand that, you know, companies, they need to make profit, you know, they need to get that cash, but it's just that the battle pass plus the season pass plus the other things, it wasn't really the best idea in my opinion. They kind of failed on that regard. So if they could find a way to properly monetize the game, it would be nice too, especially now that they're adding things like costumes. Yes, costumes, I'm really happy that they're in the game, but we have to be careful still, because we are in a time where costumes in fighting games currently, or actually just purchasable content in fighting game, is kind of predatory at the moment. You have games like Street Fighter 6, it's kind of insane, the pricing on some of those. MK1 is kind of going insane in some of those too. Maybe, we don't know yet about Tekken, but we see in Tekken 8 they have like special costumes based on the edition of the game that you buy. We don't know if they'll add more purchasable costumes or outfits things. We don't know. Hopefully they manage to do it right and that game is fine, and I hope Granblue also does it right and Granblue is fine. But we're in a time where purchasable content for fighting game is kind of insane, and I feel like fighting games, one struggle that they have at the moment overall is just monetization. They're very, very expensive games compared to a lot of other games that we could play. So I'm not expecting Granblue to fix that issue, but I would hope for them to find a good place The free-to-play version is a great idea. I don't know if they could do more with stuff like that, like, or maybe we can add characters in the training mode for free. Maybe add the new DLC character in the rotation just for a day, you know, maybe. I'm just saying things like that, but it would be nice of them to actually use the free-to-play edition more to advertise the game. Anyways, the next thing that I want to talk about is now ranked. So ranked, I had no problems necessarily in the previous game. They added a new quality of life feature, which is the fact that now ranks are exclusive to characters, which is good. That's how it should be in every game. That's how every fighting game should work. Now the issue I have with ranks, and this is a thing with a lot of fighting games too, rank never has something that is satisfying to grind for. You're just doing ranks just for the sake of getting to the highest point, right? It's like, oh wow, I reached the highest rank, yay. So I think it would be nice of them to add some nice rewards. They did it right in the previous game by using the Blitz events. So the Blitz events were events where you could play rank. It was a special ranked mode where people would compete for a certain time and then they would unlock rewards. That was really good. That was really good. I actually wish that the Blitz event comes back, and I hope that they add some rewards. But I would also like the actual ranked mode of the game to have one reward per season. So for example, with season 1, it would be like a yearly cycle. They can add a special color for every character, for example, right? They can have like a really awesome EX color every year for every character if you reach the highest rank of the game. So that way it actually gives a nice incentive for people to rank. We never get anything in fighting games. We never get anything for rank, and I think it's kind of unfortunate. I would actually like them to give us something like a color. It would be really nice, but please give us rewards. This game has actual unlockables, right? This game has like weapon skins. Please give us things like that for the ranks, like a yearly cycle. That would be so nice. It would be so nice. I don't mind if we cannot have the weapons eventually. Maybe they can make like a Blitz event where you're able to unlock those weapons eventually, right? That's why Blitz event is actually good. They need to keep that in the game. So that's just that's just the concern I have for rank. I hope they actually give us some rewards, because this game definitely can have rewards, and it wouldn't be bad for them to do that. So yeah, the final thing that I want to talk about is single player content / side player content. The reason why I want to talk about this is because, as always, I'm a big fan of single player in fighting games. Though people talk about it like it's going to be the one thing that will save fighting games, and it will make them super popular. I don't agree with that. There are reasons for it. I don't want to talk about it too much because it would be its own video, and I don't want to make a video about that because it's kind of pointless. Everybody's always spitting out the same ideas. It depends. So anyways, let's talk about that, because one concern I have for this game is that the player population will not be that huge. First of all, that's the first thing that I think it's important to recognize. It's not going to be the game that will average 10k players a day. Okay, so that's the first thing that I would like to, establish. So for example, for people who are not super competitive but they enjoy Granblues, it would actually be nice of them to do something that even other games do, like Fortnite. It's to fill up matches with AI. So for example, whenever I played the beta, the matchmaking for Granblues was kind of long, and it would be nice if at some point, if you do not find other players, just fill up the game modes with AIs. I think that would be pretty good. Regardless of what happens, I think Granblue should always try to have around 25 to 30 players all the time. So if you don't find matches, if you don't find enough people, if there's only 5 of you queuing up for Granblues, they should just fill up that shit with AI. I think it would be nice, because Granblues is fun. It is really fun, and even if you play against the AI, it's fun too. It's totally fine. They should also find a way to include like team matches in Granblue, pretty much. That would be cool. That would be pretty good. Story mode, I'm not too concerned for it. My only concern for it is that I don't want them to make it too easy. I like the way the story mode was in the previous game. It was fun to grind for the weapons. It was fun to do stuff like that. Learning the mechanics. I would even vouch for them to make some of the mechanics even harder. Because I remember one of the issues I had with Blitz Central Fiction is that the last fights in Central Fictions in the story mode, they were so easy. It's like it kind of ruined the mood, right? So I don't want that to happen for Granblue. They did it well in the previous game. I hope they keep doing that in this new game, and I would even like the fights to be crazier than before. So yeah, that's just everything that I wanted to talk about. Video is kind of long, so I'll edit it. But yeah, those are pretty much my concerns for the game. Let me know if you have other concerns too, other issues that you had with the previous game. That way we'll talk about more stuff. Maybe pass the word to some of the people that you know that this video exists, and you know, there can be more discussions about this kind of topic. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.